Okay, one second. Okay, in last class we discussed about introduction about testing. Okay, so what is meaning by testing? We discussed definition. What is meaning by testing? We discussed testing the application or software as per client requirements. Okay, so we have to test the application as per client requirements. So if you take any of the bank application, LIC application, insurance applications, or Amazon application, Flipkart application, you are booking some orders and it is delivering. So that means that software has been developed and tested by someone. Okay, so it will test by the testing team. Okay, so the testing team, they will check the functionalities as per the client requirements, those are working fine or not. Okay, if anybody will ask what is mean by testing according to you, what is mean by software testing, what we have to tell? Testing the application or software as per the client requirements, checking the functionality. Okay, right. And so as a tester, suppose, so first before going into that part, so who are the teams will be involved to develop a software? No need to take any running notes, just follow me. Okay, so who are the teams will be involved to develop a software? Four teams. Who are those teams? Business analyst, design team, development team, testing team. So if you see any of the mobile apps or anything, okay, so these are the four teams are required to develop a software, to develop the software and to deliver the software into production. Okay, so what is the responsibility of BA team? They will gather the requirements. Okay, see on behalf of you, we complete cleared interviews, right? So they will ask you some basics, fundamentals of basics. Who will collect the requirements? Okay, from the clients. Okay, clients means ICICI Bank is a client, Amazon is a client. Okay, and LIC HFL is a client. Okay, Apollo Pharmacy is a one of the client. So our BA people, means business analyst, they will go and they will collect all their requirements, whatever the how the software it needs to be developed, how the user interface it has to be developed, all functionalities, they will collect the requirements. Okay, so who will gather the information? BA, business analyst. Okay, this is the question they asked in your interview. Okay, who will collect the interviews? Okay, so BA, business analyst people, they will collect the requirements from the clients. Okay, so collect the requirements, so they are collecting the requirements. And next point, and they are developing BRD and FRD documents. What does this mean? Business requirements document and functional requirement documents. So those are the PDF documents the business analyst people, they will develop. Whatever information they have captured, everything they will document it. Okay, I want to create so and so functionalities, I want to functionalities like this, my application should have supposed to work like this. So whatever a business analyst understood, everything he will put it in a BRD and FRD documents, and he will align with the clients. So these are the functionalities that we are going to develop. Then he will take the approval and he will prepare all the BRD and FRD documents. Okay, and after that, so these we can call it as a new requirement, new functional requirements, we can call it as a new functional requirements. These new functional requirements walk through, Okay. These new functional requirements walkthrough, it will be given to design team, development team, and a testing team, because they have to explain to all the teams. Okay. So the main responsibility of BA team is they will collect the requirements from the clients. Okay. They will collect the requirements from the clients. Okay. BRD and FRD documents, new functional requirements document, and they will give the new functional requirements walkthroughs to all the teams. So these are the primary responsibilities for a BA team. They will give, so new functional requirements, we can also call it as a user stories walkthroughs. Okay. User story means some functionality. Okay. So user story walkthrough, right? User story means new functional requirements walkthrough. Suppose in your mobile some new features are coming, so those will be those will be developed by Apple team. Okay. So Apple team is asking, I want these functional features like this. So the Apple is the client and software whoever is developing. Okay. Okay. Next point is the responsibility of design team is, okay, to prepare HLD and LLD documents. HLD means high level design documents. LLD means low level design documents. High level design documents means high level functional flows. I want to create a savings account. I want to create a recurring account. I want to create a current account. Okay. So in such a way, my functionality, so whoever is, so for business people, they want to open a current account. So this functionality, it should work like this in my application. So identifying, so he has given all collection of requirements. So from the collection of requirements, he has to the design team, what are the high level functional flows, they will give you some in pictorial representation. These functionalities should supposed to work like this. Okay. So all HLD contains all high level functional flows, and LLD contains low level design documents. Okay. That means all the technical documents, how the code it has to be developed. Okay. How the code it has to be developed, that means sample pseudocode. Pseudocode means itself sample code. So how the developer has to write the logics, everything it will be there in the LLD documents, low level design documents. Okay. And so after that, coming to development team, these are the actual people, they will develop the software. Okay. Based on BRD and FRD documents, based on HLD and LLD documents, they also involved in user stories walkthrough sessions. They also completely aware what functionality they have to develop. So they will develop the software. Okay. Means we can call it as a, they will build the software. So they will build the software and they will do unit testing. Unit testing, which team they will do? So did you tested in unit testing? No. Testing team never, they will never do unit testing. Unit testing will be done by completely development. So they will check all technical flows only. Technical flows, if it is if condition and else condition, and how the for loops, while loops. Okay. While loops and path coverages, they will check. Suppose um so, so they will check, they will write some sample pseudocode. And the loan is, suppose there are two cases. Suppose I am a manager. Okay. A guy applied for a loan, and based on his eligibility, he can get only 1 lakh. Okay. But the client is asking exceptional approval. So the request it is going to manager. So here there are two flows. One is soft flow. If it is less than 1 lakh, it will go soft exit. One is exceptional approval, it will go to manager approval and it will exit. So like that, path coverages means how many ways the functionalities can be derived. Okay, so path coverage, how many number of paths are available to test particular functionality. Okay, so if conditions, if it is like this, if it is like this, how it is working. So they will check all their, they will inspect all their code is properly working fine or not as per the functional flows. But they will check only high level only. They won't check in detailed level. Okay, so in detailed level, who will do? Testing team, right? So the main role of testing team is, suppose if you join in any of the organization, okay, they will give you BRD and FRD documents on the day one itself. Okay, once those documents, if you receive, that means your work started. Once you receive the document, you have to prepare immediately. You have to understand the functionality, and also you need to involve into the user stories walkthrough sessions, and you need to understand the complete functionality. So there are 150 to 200 pages document they have given. I could not able to understand all that one. No, you have to go through. That is our primary responsibility. All other teams, they are developing the build and design team, they are going through HLD, LLD documents preparation. So our responsibility is, okay, whatever BRD and FRD documents they have given, we need to thoroughly understand completely. We have to go through each and every line. Otherwise, we could not able to understand the functionality. Okay. Okay. You have to go through complete requirements. So you have to go through complete requirements, BRD and FRD documents. Sir, after that, sir, I studied all 150 pages documentation. So what is my next job, sir? The next job is immediately you have to prepare test scenarios and test objectives. Okay. So on the day one itself or day two itself, your work will be started. Test scenarios and test objectives. You have to prepare. We will see how to prepare test scenarios and test objectives in this class. Okay. And after that, you have, okay, test case objectives. After that, for every test case, you identify test case objective, test scenario and test case objectives. And after that, you have to write a detailed steps for every test case. You have to write detailed steps for every test case. Okay, understood? And after, so these are the main things. Going through the requirements, understand the complete requirements functionality. Okay. So if somebody will ask you, what is a tester responsibility? So you have to tell these things. We have to go through the complete requirements and understand the functionality, and analyze the requirement. And after that, you have to list out all the test scenarios and test case objectives. You need to list out all the test scenarios and test objectives, what needs to be tested. Okay, why we are identifying these are the test scenarios, these are the test case objectives, we need to test it in the application. So you are going to prepare that test scenarios and test case objective. And third point is, we are going to write a detailed steps for every test case. Okay, you have identified some functionalities and you are going to write detailed test case steps. Understood. Now the next point is, okay, development team, they have developed an application, ICICIbank.com. Okay, and they have given the application to you to test the application. So your build is ready, means your software is ready. So in terms of testing terminology, we can call it as a build. Generally, we can call it as a software, but in testing terminology, we can call it as a build. Okay, you also need to call build. Okay, you also need to call it as a build. So the build is ready. The build is ready. That means your software is ready, and you have to test it. Okay, you have to test it. You have to test it. So what you have to do is, so whatever test case steps you have written, all those test case functional flows, you have to verify it. So you have written some number of test cases to create savings account, to create recurring account, to create current account, and how the deposits functionality, is it current balance is updating or not. Whenever credit is happening, automatically your balance is increasing or not. Such functionalities are there. So you are checking all those functionalities as per you have written all the test cases, functional flows, and you are checking in the application all those properly working fine or not. So you have written around 100 test cases here. So you have written around 100 test cases here. Got it? So these all 100 test cases you are going to execute on the build. Means whatever test cases that you have written, you are executing those test cases on the build. So this phase we can call it as a design phase, test design phase. Got it? So this phase we can call it as a test plan preparation. Test 1 and 2 we can call it as a requirements and test plan phase. Test planning phase 1 and 2. Requirements and test planning phase. Okay. And third one, and here this phase we can call it as a test execution phase. Execution means whatever test cases that you have written, all those are correctly working or not, you are cross checking. Once application is ready, you are logging into the application and you are navigating, and whether you are able to create a savings account customer or not. So the entire functional flow steps you are executing. Okay, so that functionality work. So this phase we can call it as a test execution phase. Okay, and during this test execution phase, you will also identify the issues. We will, so issue we can call it as a defect. Issue or defects. Issue or defects means, sir, while creating savings account, after clicking on save button, it is showing the system is not responding at all. So every time I tried multiple times, the system, please contact your system administrator, something like that the system is prompting. So actually it has to create some unique account number as per the functional requirement, but the system is prompting contact your system administrator. So you have to report that issue in the system, and you need to inform to your team lead. Okay, and you also need to inform to your development, whoever has developed, you need to inform to development team as well. Okay, so in the interviews people asked this question, correct? When you found an issue, what you will do? People are asking this question. Okay, so immediately the functionality is not working, immediately I will report that issue and I will log that issue in the system. Okay, and I will inform to my test project team, and I will inform to development team, and I will inform to, so I will log the issue in the system. I will report that issue in the system. Okay, and I will inform to development team, and as well as my testing, as well as my test lead, whoever is reporting to you. Okay, suppose you are reporting to your test lead. Okay, so you are a team member, test engineer. Test engineer always it will report to test lead. So I will inform to my test lead, and also I will inform to the development team. So like that. Okay, when you found an issue, what you will do? That's it. We will inform. So test execution phase, and you identifying the issues and defects, and report that issue, report or log the issue in the system. issue in the system. Okay, something is not working, what we will do? We will report that issue. We means we will log that issue. We will track so and so functionality, so and so module, it is not working. Okay, we will log that issue, and that issue number we can take it as a like 1017, the tracking number. Okay, and after that, if you are logging next issue 1018, so and so functionality has been broken, like that. So the objective of testing is you are going to execute the test cases and you are identifying the issues whichever functionalities are not working, and you are reporting all these issues to development team. So the primary objective of our testing team is to identify the issues in the application, and we have to inform. That is our main job. Okay, right. Test completion. Finally, test completion certificate. It will prepare by test lead. Who will prepare? Test lead. Test completion certificate. Sir, what is mean by test completion certificate? Suppose you have written 100 test cases. Understood? Out of 100 test cases, sir, all 90 test cases are passed. You are telling a report to me. I am your ICICI bank client and you are a testing team. Sir, 90 test cases are passed. That means 90 functional flows are properly working fine. And 5 got failed. 5 got failed. Means we have, for the failed test cases, we have logged 5 issues. You informed. Okay, fine. And 5 got blocked. Blocked means we could not able to proceed testing at all. That application, after clicking on that module, on that link, that page itself, it is not opening. We could not able to proceed any all those 5 test cases. Okay, failed means you navigated to certain steps and steps are at particular step, that step is failed. But blocked means you could not able to the main navigation point itself, it is failed. So the remaining all 4 test cases also depends on the same navigation point. So you could not able to proceed any of the, so waste of efforts in every step. The common point is you have to navigate from that link only, but we could not able to proceed the testing for remaining 4 test cases. So we can mark it those 5 test cases as blocked. Okay, so you have given execution status, 90 test cases passed, 5 failed and 5 blocked. So out of 100, this is the summary you have given. So I can easily understand the execution coverage. Okay, so this is called as a test execution summary. Okay, so what we can call test execution summary. So in the interviews, people will ask you, okay, what is mean by test completion certificate? Okay, the test completion certificate, which contains how many test case, from total test cases, how many are passed, how many are failed, and how many are blocked. All these metrics information, it will be published. So metrics, we can call it as a metric. All these metrics information will be published. Okay, so test execution summary metrics will be, information will be published in your test completion certificate. Sir, is there any other information also it will be published? Yes. Okay, so you have identified some issues also, right? So 1017, 1013, okay, and 1015, 1018, comma 1020. Sir, these are the 5 issues has been identified by testing team. Okay, and you also mentioning about the priority. P1, this is P1 issue. This is also P1 issue. This is P2 issue. Means P1 means urgent fix, and this is also a P2 issue. Means priority 2. This means this is a priority 3. P1 means critical issue. Means it needs to be fixed immediately. Okay, and P2 means some high functional flow. P3 means it is not much causing on the functionality. Okay, we can give some time to fix the issue for the development. So you also highlighted how much importance, how much priority. P means P1 means priority. How much urgency it required to fix that. So P1 means that has to fix within same working day. P2 means it has to fix it within 2 working days. P3 means we are giving the development team at least 3 working days, because it's a least priority issue. So we can give 3 more working days. But high functionality issues, it has to be resolved urgently. That's what you told. So if I will go through this test completion certificate, I can understand. So which of the, how many are passed, how many are failed, and what is the defect summary. So we can call it as a defect summary. So we can call it as a defect matrix or defect summary. Okay. So these are the defect metrics, and which indicates how much urgent priority defects it has to be fixed. Okay. All this information, it will give this test completion certificate, it will be prepared by your test lead, and your test lead, he will give the submission back to the client. After that, the final step is, okay, client will decide release. So suppose you have developed, you have given 10 requirements, and I have given 10 requirements, and you have developed almost 10 test cases, 100 test cases. Okay, I have given 10 requirements in my BRD documents, and you almost developed 100 positive and negative test cases. Okay, and client will decide. So all the 100 test cases you executed, and you have given complete summary, how much passed, failed, and everything. And finally, for this release, it has to go to the production. The objective of this all the software is, we have to deliver new functional features into production. Okay, so the release, it has to go or no go decision. So whether go means it's an yes, no go means it's a no. Okay, so sorry, there are so many high important issues needs to be fixed. If we are delivering this issue, it will be impacted so many for users and everything. A lot of complaints it will come. So first fix the issues, like that the client will come back and he will tell. Or the client, okay, you can fix it only P1 and P2 issues, P3 issues no problem. Once P1 and P2 issues are resolved, we can go ahead for the release. So the client is saying go. Okay, after fixing that issue, so the final decision is, so when a project is successful means on the last day, suppose all this process 1 2 3 4 5 6, all this process, okay, it is happening in a month only. Okay, all this process, it is happening in a month only. So for every month you will have one release. Means, suppose in your mobile, for every 3 months your mobile software is automatically updating. So some patch release, it's updating. So additional features are coming. So in background, some testing team, they are testing, and it is released, it is updating automatically after 3 months. Similarly, for every month or for every 2 months, okay, depends on the thing. Okay, so the project, new functional features, it will go into production live. Okay, live environment. So we can call it as a production or live environment. Okay, production or live environment means, this is the application URL, it will be look like this: ICICI bank.com. Okay, so this is the website. The code is, whatever build software is developed, The code entire, every code it is moving to ICICIbank.com. Whatever software they have developed, all that code they are migrating to this production environment. That means production environment means ICICIbank.com. Similarly, so you tested right in a test environment. So the code, whatever code has been developed by development team, the code it will be during your testing team. So the code will be migrated into test environment. So it will be like this: test ICICIbank.com. So if the code is perfectly working fine in test ICICIbank.com, okay, then the code it will be moved to real world environment, in the live environment. Okay, so we have so these are called DR environments, means dress rehearsals environments, we can call it as. Okay, and so development team, okay, where is they have developed development team? Okay, development team, they will do their unit testing and everything in a dev environment. Dev environment means they have separate application URL. Okay, that is called dev environment. Test environments means once the code has been tested in that application URL, the code will be deployed. The code will be, means all that code they will deploy into test ICICIbank.com, means test environment. Okay, so the test, in the test environment we will check all those functionalities properly working fine. Once test environments are properly working fine, the code it will move to production environment. Clear everyone? Right. So that's it on the process wise. So we understood the summary. Okay, let's recap the summary. Okay, okay, who are the teams all involved? One second, I will come back to that point. Okay, testing definition first. So what is mean by testing? Testing the application. Perfect, very good. Okay, second point, as a tester what we have to do? We have to log, we have to identify all the issues and we have to report it to development team, project team, and your test lead and everyone. Then if you are informing only development team, the communication, why you have not informed the test lead, they will come and they will ask you. Okay, you have to inform to all the project team simply. Mainly explicitly you need to call out development team. Okay, we will inform to development team and project team and all my test lead and everyone, like that unit. Okay, so 2 points. So whenever you are asking the issues in the definition, you need to tell 2 points. If the application should supposed to work as per the client requirements, and we need to identify the issues, and we have to inform to the development team and all the required project. And we need to identify the issues in the early stage. Okay, suppose suppose your release is planned for suppose March 1st to March 31st is the release time. Suppose if you are finding the critical issues on March 25th or 27th, is that useful to project team? No, not at all. Okay, that means you are completely wasted time up to 24 days. Okay, so that effort is waste and all people will be panic. Okay, so you need to, so that is the line. So generally all other institute peoples, how they will tell, testing means testing the application as per the client requirements, and we have to inform to, we have to identify the issues and we need to log the defects. We have to identify the issues in the early stage and we will inform to the all the requirements. So if you are telling like this, the interviewer will be impressed. Okay, we will identify the issues in the early stage. Clear? Okay. Okay, first point is clear. Okay, next point, who are the teams are involved? Testing team. Okay, and what is the responsibility of BA team? Go through, see and tell. You can go through that part and tell me. What is the responsibility of BA team? Going through the requirements. He will collect the requirements and he will set up the user stories walkthrough session, and they will prepare BRD and FRD documents. Clear. These 3 points you have to tell to everyone. Okay. And design team, the LLD document. HLD contains high level functional flows. LLD contains low level design documents which contain sample pseudocode and technical diagrams. Okay, which will helpful for development team to understand all the functional flows. And who will develop the software? Development team. Actual software, it will be developed by software development team. So in the interview, I'm asking a question. Who will develop the software? If you are telling only development team, okay, you are gone. So the interview, he won't improve. To develop a software in background, 4 teams support is required. Like that, you need to explain the answer. Okay, if you are telling only development team, means that is not the correct answer. Okay, so the actual software, the main role of development of software is will be done by development team. Okay, what they will do? They will do, they will develop the software, and they will they will check their code is properly working fine or not by doing unit testing. Unit testing means nothing but code testing. How the code testing will be verified? If the condition is working, how the code is working. If the condition is failed case, how the code is working. So even during